The message behind the T. Many times as believers we are told to trust God, either through His Word or by others when we face difficulties. We can say we trust God, but our actions say otherwise. But how do we know we really trust God to do those things He wants to do through our life? The plans He wants to execute on our journey with Him. Here are a few pointers you will know that you are trusting God. 1. Being obedient to what God has instructed you to do. God is always giving us directions for our life, but it takes your obedience to prove that you trust Him to do whatever He is doing. An example of this is found in Genesis 22, when Abraham was asked to sacrifice his only son, Isaac. Abraham proved that he trusted God by obeying what God instructed him to do. Please like and subscribe to this channel to hear more videos like this. 2. Letting go of trying to work it out yourself. God is a God of power and might. He usually gets the job done right. He wants to do things His way and what pleases Him. Before Abraham had Isaac, there was some distrust with his wife. She tried to work it out on her own. She had her maidservant sleep with Abraham her husband to bring forth the son God promised. But God specifically said Sarah and Abraham. God forgave them and the promise came to be. Third way of knowing you truly trust God is surrendering your will and desires for His. Jesus showed a great example of this when He had a choice of going to the cross. Even though He was God, it pleased the Father that Jesus would take on human likeness and humbled Himself, Philippians 2:5-11. While in the Garden of Gethsemane, Jesus prayed that the cup would be taken from Him, but He uttered that it was not His, but the Father's will be done. Jesus gave the greatest model of surrendering your will and desires to prove He trusted the Father. Finally, proof that you trust God is not warring and not complaining. We can't say we trust God on one hand and on the other we are complaining because we can't see the outcome or understand what is going on. God has a plan and He knows what He is doing, but He doesn't like murmuring and complaining while He is trying to work. In the story of Moses, while the Israelites were in the wilderness they angered God a few times because all they did was complain instead of trusting God even when God proved Himself. So when we grumble and complain we are saying we don't trust God in our situation, and that He doesn't know what He is doing. He wants us to give Him all our cares and worries and He will sustain us, Psalm 55:22. Not warring and complaining, you are telling God you trust Him to lead you and guide you on your journey with Him. You may not get it all at once, but trust is built gradually. This is why God tests us in small areas first in order to build that trust with Him. Trust God and chill.